So you just unboxed your brand new Shepherd lock and you're ready to get it mounted on your door. I'm Mike Johnson with Passive Bolt and I'm here to walk you through getting this guy onto your door. If you didn't get a chance to check out our unboxing video, please go ahead and check that out, and we go through taking all of this stuff out of the box and where to find everything. All right, so we've got a couple of checks that we're gonna do before we get started. First of all, you need to make sure that you actually have a single cylinder deadbolt. The way to look for that is if you've got one of these guys on the inside of your door. The next one we want to look for is to make sure that your door is properly aligned with your door frame. Best way to check that, you're just going to lock and unlock and make sure that you can do this pretty effortlessly. If you have a situation that's a little like this, where it doesn't go all the way and you have to push it in order to get it to go in, that means you've got a misalignment issue, and you may want to work on getting that adjusted before you install the Shepherd lock. It'll still work, but it's going to interrupt that really nice experience that you want to have with your new product. So, with that in mind, we're going to go through 4 steps. First, we're going to remove this guy, the thumb turn. We're going to replace it with our mounting bracket. Then we're going to screw in the module. Then we're going to snap on the magnetic cover. To do that, we're going to need a screwdriver. So, one of these will do the trick. But if you're a tool junkie like me and went to Home Depot and got yourself an electric version, it just makes life much more fun. And then of course you're going to need a few other batteries. 4 is much better than 3. All right, so for this guy, we're going to take out these screws. This is why we love power tools. Now, one thing to note when you're doing this is you're going to want to probably put something on the outside of the door to hold it in place. Because as soon as you take out this last screw here, your cylinder is just going to fall right off the front. So hold it with your hand. A little bit of masking tape actually makes it a little easier, but for those of us who have done this a few times, now, tricks of the trade. All right, now this one happens to be a quick set. Yours might be a Slage, you might have a Defiant or a Gatehouse, Home Depot and Lowe's brands. And so depending on which one you have, you're going to want to look in your user manual, which I have behind me here, just to figure out which set of adapters you want to use and which set of holes you want to use. So you'll see here on the mounting bracket that there are 2 holes right on top of each other. Now some locks are going to have really skinny screws, and they'll just be able to float between those 2 holes, and you really don't have to worry about it. For the quick set, we want to use the bottom holes. So we're going to make sure we put those through the bottom here. And we're just going to get that guy started. There we go. Started. And you'll notice when I'm screwing this in, I'm not actually going in all the way. And there's a reason for that, which is that we don't want to over tighten it. We just want to get a nice snug fit on this guy. You can tell if you've over tightened it because you'll see that the top starts to kind of come off the door a little bit. If you see that, or if you see that the rubber is kind of bulging out on the bottom, that means that you've tightened it a little too much. You really don't need it to be, in there so tight that you're breaking your wrist trying to get it in there. A good snug fit is exactly what you want. All right, so now this guy is ready to go, and we're ready to install the module. So to install the module, I'm going to take this guy out of the cover, and depending on what lock I have, I'm going to select the proper set of adapters here. So in my case, I have a quick set, so I want the blue set of adapters. So I'm going to take my little freeze block here, and I'm going to install it and make sure that this flat section is facing down. Now I'm going to take my nifty little screw here, and for this one I am going to use the manual screwdriver. And we're just going to drop it into this hole right here. And a number 2 bit is going to work just fine on this one. And that's a number 2 Phillips. And again, no need to break your wrist on this guy. Just gonna get it nice and snug. That's good to go. All right, so we've got this ready to go. We're gonna grab our adapter. Now to line up your adapter, you'll see we've got a nice D-cut on this one. Now, the Slage and other different adapters, they'll have a slightly different shape to them, but you're just gonna wanna line it up with your shaft here. And then a nice little trick is you just take it out and you want to put it inside the lock and just twist it so that it looks about the same. So once you do that, you can put that guy here and then slide this guy on. Now there's going to be a little sticker here that is keeping that screw in, which you want to take off. Now if you're going to do this with your electric screwdriver, you're going to want to make sure that you use your lowest torque setting, because again, we just want it to be snug. If you're doing it by hand, just do it until it feels snug, and then you're good. No over tightening. And that's how we get optimal performance out of this whole thing. Now clicking in here, that's just the clutch, letting it slip to make sure that we're not making it too tight. So our next step here, we're going to take out our battery case, and we're going to put in our 4 AA's. There we go. Lock those bad boys in there. Bam. Now it's installed, and we're ready to move on to the next step, which is going to be commissioning to the mobile app.